Welcome to Painted Smiles, Chapter 1. Let's get started. You're stupid, Sean heard his girlfriend tease, feeling her nudge him. As they swung their hands back and forth, their fingers intertwined. But you love me. He glared at her with a cheesy smile, which he returned, leaning closer to him, allowing him to wrap an arm around her. Sadly, she mumbled, and he chuckled, kissing her head, and walked her to her house. The two turned to face one another, holding each other's hands while smiling. I need to remind you, this might mature content. If I have BG, that means blood and gore. If I have MC, that means mature content. And if I have GM, that means both. Okay? Done. See you tomorrow. She asked, swaying her hands slightly, seeing him smile and lower his gaze slightly, sighing. Sorry, lass, I can't. He pouted, and her smile faded slightly, but she nodded, leaning forward and giving him a soft kiss, the two allowing it to linger before they pulled away. See you soon. I promise. I love you, Sean whispered as he rose her hand to his lips, kissing it while looking into her eyes, smiling lightly. I love you too, she huffed before they finally left one another, and she went inside, blowing him a kiss before walking into her apartment. He let his smile drop, and he pursed his lips and took several steps back before he turned on his heels and walked towards the woods, his hands stuffed in his pockets and his head hung. Sina didn't like him going out to those woods. She was scared he hurt himself and she'd never be able to find him. He thought she was being too overprotective, which is strange because it's usually the boyfriend who's overprotective and the girl who is clingy. Except Sean isn't clingy at all. He loves his space, and he doesn't mind what Cena does as long as she doesn't do any stupid shit. If anything, she was both overprotective and clingy, which isn't a very attractive mix. But she let him be for the most. He liked the woods, though, full of nature shit and air and stuff like that. What's not to love? After he does love nature so much, he put in his earphones and played some music, walking along a small stream. A small stream he had come across, hopping from side to side of the stream until he pounced into the water, the liquid splashing all over. Shit, he muttered, but didn't really care, shrugging it off and walking on, his music too loud for him to hear anything else. He looked up at a family of hares stopping in his tracks and watching as they hopped along, glancing over at him a few times glancing over at him every few moments before scattering along. Sean letting a smile grace his lips until something else caught his eyes, frowning and walking towards it. He pulled on the vines until they fully revealed the gate. Jack taking a step back before he shrugged and pulled them open, having to use all his strength as the hinges were rusted over. He took out his earphones and switched off his music, squeezing through the gate and looking in, his eyebrows raising when he caught a glimpse of the house. Not too far, depending on whether to go now or come back the next day, seeing as it was already getting dark. Fuck it, he huffed as he trudged his way towards the house. The further he went, the more dead everything seemed. The plants all being brown and hung over due to negligence. I don't know what that word is. He walked up to the front door and pushed the lip before pressing his hand on the doorknob and pulling it down. The door clicked and loud as it swung open. Sean peeking inside. The inside reeked of rotten wood and dust, causing Sean to splutter and cough, waving his hands around as his lungs tried to find some fresh air. "Hello?" he croaked, his words ending with a cough at the thickness of the dusty air, making him turn and step outside, wheezing and deeply placed his hands on his knees. He waited a few moments for the inside to bring in more fresh air before he went back inside, satisfied with the air. He pulled out his flashlight from his backpack and turned it on, looking around the rooms curiously. He went through the house quietly, the measure of it being rather empty and untouched except for a bedroom. He went upstairs and looked around, frowning slightly until he heard a loud screech, causing him to jump and drop his flashlight, hearing as it fell to the ground, the light going off. "Shit!" he grumbled, bending over and picking it up, smacking it against his palm, trying to get it to work, hitting it harder as if it would make a difference. No, that's not right. Damn it. Oh, that's not fucking... No, that's not right. It needs more, for fuck's sake. The same voice screamed in frustration, and Sean froze, his eyes going to a door that was only a crack open, a small ray of light peeking through the crack. He walked towards it and pushed the door very slightly, leaning closer and peeking in. He felt like Peeping Tom. He saw a man. He wore faded red flannel and faded jeans. He was covered in paint, dry and wet. His hair was red and had bits of paint in his locks. He was rather tan, pretty short, but his muscular build complemented his frame perfectly. Sean looked to the room itself, his eyes widened as the sight. The walls were covered in artistic paintings. They were absolutely spectacular. He had never seen such beauty before. The man stood before a canvas which had a strange tension to it. Sean frowned but continued watching. Fuck it, Mark! Why can't you do it properly? The man paced, running his fingers through his hair in anger, staining his red locks with the paint in his hands. I try and try, but what does it do? He replied to himself, suddenly screaming and flipping a small table. Sean watching as if smacked into the wall, the table breaking. Fuck it! Worthless! It's never perfect! It's ruined! Fucking ruined! He screeched, throwing an absolute fit. It needs to be perfect! Why is it never good enough? Mark screamed as he tossed the paint at his new picture, spilling it over his art. Sean slightly gasped as he stepped away from the door, fear pulsing through him when Mark looked in his direction. I can see you, he growled as he picked up his knife. From the author, new Insanity Base story. I really hope you like it. I am really into this plot, as I felt as though there's a lot to mold into it. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoy this series. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.